Good evening and welcome to the Ashes of Creation Oceanic and Southeast Asian Guild Fair. I'm your host, Pelham. We're going to be interviewing quite a few, well, not as many as other regions guilds. It's going to be fun. We're going to learn a bit about the guilds, see what they want to do. I've just turned up the voice. Is that better? No? Maybe? How about now? Yes, no? Cool. Sorry. Yeah. Don't usually record my voice through Twitch. It's usually through my Discord. So it's... yeah. Ah. It's now at 100%. This is the best you can do. All right. Anyway, we're getting into it. I'd like to give a shout out to my own community because we're great. One of the bigger OCE communities currently interested in the guild fair and the game Ashes of Creation. There's a link to the Oceanic and Southeast Asian Community Discord on the screen just there. And there's also the official Discord if you aren't already a part of that for some strange reason. But yeah, might as well jump straight into it and give me 2 seconds to figure out which button I need to press. Alrighty, appearing on the screen shortly, I have my first guest, the Blades of Vengeance. With me is Ranson Bloodway. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself? I'm going to start calling you Bacon after all of this.
Go for it. It's going to be wonderful. Alrighty, I guess introduce yourself, give a bit of a spiel, tell us your stuff.
Okay. Well, alright, so Blades of Vengeance obviously is an Aussie Oceanic guild. We've been around on and off for about 10 years. 2007 is where we were created. Back to the lovely old World of Warcraft. Yes, I did say it. Since then, we've gone through many different games. Currently, at the moment, we are active on WoW and also ESO, and as everyone else here, we are gearing up for the wonderful Ashes of Creation, and really looking forward to it.
That's really good, mate. Yeah, it's good to see a lot of hype behind the game from the Oceanic and even Southeast Asian community, where there isn't as much sort of backing yet. Not a lot of people seem to know about it. I guess they just haven't broken through to the Southeast Asian market yet, but there is definitely a few of them floating around. Which is good, and the fact that we're getting local servers is beautiful.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cannot wait for that.
I'm turning the background music off for you, mate, just so everyone there. Yes, Oceanic servers were confirmed. It is a really good thing. Not sure how many we're getting. I think it's going to depend on how many people we actually have, I guess, interested in the game when it launches. I'd say with...
yeah, even if there's one, that's going to be better than most other games out there.
That's right. They're aiming for roughly 10,000 concurrent players per server at any one time. So depending if we get lumped in with everywhere else down here, we may only see one server, we may see 5. It's really hard to say. Now, all my beautiful questions were half answered by your intro, so that doesn't really help.
My bad.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But we're still interviewing Blades of Vengeance here, and give me 2 seconds to pull up my actual question sheet and see what's already been answered. Alrighty. Since we already know when you were formed, it was roughly 10 years ago back in WoW.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there a purpose behind a reason why the guild was created?
I think it was just an offshoot. Yeah, not really a story as such. It was an offshoot of another guild that a group of us had been in for probably 6 months or so at that point, and one of the joyful World of Warcraft guild splits. So nothing groundbreaking in that story, really.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My guild had several iterations through WoW.
Yeah, we're up to about half a dozen at least.
Okay, bear with me for 2 seconds. I just realised my Twitch started playing sound again. I don't know why. 2 seconds.
You're right, mate.
Turn that off. That's...
I said it before in the Twitch chat. What would an Ashes of Creation stream be like without some Twitch issues?
That's right. Got to thank Needle and Yavi for actually getting this thing underway. It's a little bit early in my opinion, but we're definitely doing it.
Absolutely. Well, look, better to be early than not do it at all. And I haven't seen a guild fair or anything like this done for any other MMO that I've been a part of. So
yeah, it's fun. I've been to a few, but not many that have really been successful at all. But this one definitely looks like it's got a lot more participation than the others.
yeah, the hype train is in full swing.
Alrighty, so on to our next part of the interview, which is beautiful. What do you look for in a potential guild member?
Okay, so Blazer mentions we're what I guess we call ourselves an inclusive guild. We're not really all that strict when it comes to recruitment. I kind of think some of my officers would prefer it if I was a little bit more strict. Yeah, I think that's probably a valid thing. So we're open to pretty much anyone. Obviously, depending on what you want to get out of the game. If you're coming in specifically for, in-game rating and, all that sort of stuff, then there's criteria to meet within that. But for purely just getting into the guild, there's not really much in the way of criteria that we go for. We're a social guild, so we invite all comers.
That's pretty good. It's nice to see that there's inclusivity. Is that a word? It's a word now. I like it.
It is now, yeah. We're Australian, mate. We can do whatever we want.
Exactly. Which brings me to a really important question, and one that is probably going to make you cry. If you had to choose between 5 decent players and 10 average players, what would you prefer, and how would you go about them?
Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, I'm very glad that you did give me the heads up on that question a couple of days back, because I had to think on this one. And yes, it did make me cry. But from our point of view, I think we would probably go either somewhere in the middle or more towards the 10, mediocre players, if that's what you called it.
Well, not so much mediocre, but they weren't the kind of people that, they're not the top 1% of their class sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly right. And look, we're not a top 1% guild. So realistically, as I said before, we're inclusive. So we'd probably take the numbers over the... I'm not gonna say elitists, but I just did. We're not looking for the top 1 or 10%. We're looking for people who enjoy the game, who just want to get in, have fun, and be social, basically.
That's really good. I like it. If anyone that actually interviewed does say we want the 5 elitist players because we're elitist, I'm not going to say I'm going to cut the interview short, but I may. In Ashes of Creation, since you're going to definitely have the guild there, what will be your guild's focus? Are you going to be PvP orientated, crafting, PvE, bit of everything, dick on other players when they're sort of trying to do caravans?
Yeah, so apart from raiding Argent as often as we can...
Sounds good.
Probably. It's going to be a bit of everything. As sort of historically, we have been more PvE focused than PvP. That being said, with the differences in PvP in Ashes, we certainly will be involved in all of that. And I'm going to be sort of setting up, officers who have had those specific sort of interests, so we can just try and keep everyone happy, basically. My own personal interest is going to be in doing sort of skill building, obviously, and I really want to try out these 40-man raids. So that's probably where my specific focus is going to be. But as a guild in general, yeah, caravans, trading, the religion, the node building, you name it, we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun, especially with local servers. All of that will just be so much better because we can do it without
Yeah.
1200 ping.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I love the whole little shots fired at Arjun there. It was beautiful.
I thought you'd like it. Yeah, no
I'll
worries.
see you on the battlefield, mate.
All right, sounds good.
Now, this is going to be an interesting question. What feature do you most look forward to that we know about so far in the game?
Do I most look forward to? Okay. That is a good one. I think it's going to be the artisan systems, at least from the limited amount of information that we've got at the moment. I've always enjoyed crafting, and certainly, blacksmithing, weaponsmithing is going to be a focus of mine. So just being able to get out and, as they've said in previous streams, being able to actually go out and find these awesome weapons like the Sword of Jeffrey +10, and then deconstruct it to be able to then craft that. That for me is probably one of the best things that looks good to me.
Yeah, the crafting system is definitely good. I'm looking forward to it myself. I won't be a full-time crafter, but I'll definitely be dabbling into that. And here's the next fun question. What's the feature you're sort of least looking forward to actually using? In the rough chance that they're listening to this and taking notes and saying, crap, everyone hates this feature, we may have to rework it.
Oh, geez, that's not even talking about the last one. I don't know if I have an answer to that. I certainly haven't heard, like with all the streams and whatnot that I've watched, I haven't seen anything that's I've thought, yeah, not interested in that. I guess the main thing that's going to be an interesting one for me to see will be the stock exchange, because I certainly haven't seen anything like that in any other games, and I haven't been a massive trader myself, so that's probably going to be the one I'm more curious about, but haven't got hype about.
Yeah, I just noticed my Skype notifications are turned on still. I kind of forgot to turn that off, but that's okay. I don't have that many Skype friends, or friends in general. Yeah, we might be able to make that a meme, actually. JV gets on Skype. Yeah, we don't really know enough about enough of the mechanics to be able to say if any of them are going to be terrible. Which is definitely a thing. If you could implement any feature from anything you've played before, pretty much anything in existence, what would you be able to implement into Ashes of Creation?
Alright, now there is one thing that I hope they do. I don't know if they've confirmed this anywhere or not. I certainly haven't seen it myself, and it's going to be fairly boring, but from a guild leader point of view, it's very nice. And that's purely going to be with adding people to your friends list, being able to do that via account name rather than just specifically character name. That just so useful. It's about the best I can come up with.
No worries, yeah, there's definitely a few features I'd like to implement. They may have already been thinking of them, we just don't know about them yet, but yeah, the whole social aspect is definitely going to help out in this one.
Definitely. Well, it seems to be one of the main focuses they're looking at for it, so yeah, I would imagine they would have those sorts of things in place already, I hope, or at least talking about it.
I just noticed there's I want an alpha key so bad. There is actually an alpha key available, and I'm not going to tell you how to win it, but after this stream is done, you'll be notified if you're the one that got the alpha key. And it is the alpha that is happening in December of this year.
Oh. Way to put out the carrot there, Pelham, I like it.
Yeah, so it means you're going to have to continue to watch this stream, and possibly the EU and the NA streams, because they both, in fact, also have keys.
Do you know how they're doing that? Are they doing that one per region? Or?
Yep, each region has a key, so there's 3 keys in total.
Nice.
So yeah, whoever's watching now for the next however long we're on stream, you'll be able to win it. And I'm running out of questions here because you kind of answered more in the intro, but I will have to ask, where did your name come from for the guild? Like, is it personal? Did you like it? Did you just go, hey, we need a name. This sounds cool?
So, I wasn't the original creator of Blades of Vengeance, so I did pick up the guild name, when it was handed to me. That being said, I've always really liked it, and I've run with it for the last 10 years. So, yeah, it was a hand-me-down, but it's one I do like.
That's good. There's always, at least there's a story behind the name. I remember being, not being in a guild, but I remember being rivals with a guild back in, it was either WoW or Ion, whichever game it was. They're all sort of blend in at this point. And
They blur into one. Yeah, they do, yeah.
They had the worst name. I think it was like Guitar Picks or something. And it's because their leader found a guitar pick on his desk when he made the guild. And I was like, that is the lamest story I've ever heard. But, it does happen.
Yeah, that's it. There are some interesting names out there.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the questions. Is there anything you'd like to say before I kick you out of the channel and get the next people in?
No, I'll just give a shout out to all the guildies who are listening. I think there are a few, which is quite good. And I don't know if you were going to do it, but I will. I'll just give a shout out to one of the other guild or Aussie guilds that I know that couldn't be here tonight, which was Wolf, I believe, and I think they've spoken to you as well. So I just thought I'd give them a plug as well.
The good old Wolf Guild. Yeah, I was speaking to Scripps the other day. He's pretty sad he couldn't make it, but it's all hunky dory.
Yeah, I did the same thing as well. So yeah, but I think that's about all for me. Just quietly.
No worries. Have fun, mate, and good luck in the future. We'll see you next Guild Fair, which I'm technically not allowed to tell you about, but there's a Guild Fair coming up sometime next year.
Yeah, I think they've actually dropped hints about that already, just quietly.
No worries, mate. Alrighty.
Alright. Cheers for having me, Pelham. I appreciate it, mate. I'll leave you to your next special guest.
No worries. Alrighty, now I need to try and figure out why my next guest hasn't entered the channel yet. Meanwhile, is everyone enjoying the stream so far?
Hello.
How's it going, mate? Give me 2 seconds to play around with my little overlays here.
No, that's fine. That's all good.
Look at that magic. It's almost like I had this pre-prepared. Alright. Next up, the interviews. We're here with Saber from Amnesty. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. How are you?
It's getting there. I'm a bit nervous. Still kind of freaking out.
Fair enough.
But we're definitely getting there. We're slogging through it. I am going to try and draw these out as much as I can without making it sound terrible, purely because we have a couple of Southeast Asian guilds that won't be able to make it for a little bit of time still. So we're not stretching it out, but we're definitely not making it quick and snappy like the other two streams will be because they have so many people to interview.
Awesome. Yep. Sounds good.
And I guess first up, introduce yourself, your guild / community, and yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, g'day guys. My name's Saber. My guild is Amnesty. I'm the leader of Amnesty Guild, and we aren't a community, a pre-formed community or anything like that. We're just a guild that has started up recently for Ashes of Creation. We're growing pretty quickly, and that's something that I'm happy with. And I guess as the game gets closer, we'll know more. But right now we're just I guess you could sort of classify us as a semi-hardcore committed community style guild that's looking to sort of play into every aspect of Ashes of Creation because it looks like it's a pretty phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun game, providing that everything lives up to what they're saying, and even the new backer goals, we're going to get some weird stuff like dancing and a wand that does secret stuff. Kind of curious to know what secret stuff is. Could be cool, could be terrible. Hopefully we hit that backer goal in the on the shop that is currently on their website, which you can access via a link I don't currently have on the stream, but there is a link to the shop if you haven't done your bits for it.
Awesome. Yep. Yeah, there's been a lot going on, so so yeah, there's a lot to look at. But I guess Stephen has promised a lot, and hopefully he should be able to deliver.
Yeah, it should be good. It's still a fair ways away still, so we don't have to worry about it straight away. But it's going to be good. Hang on, we're just getting some feedback here from the voices. Your voice is smexy, which is a bit weird.
Oh wow! Jeez, okay. Never heard that one before.
You're also supposedly a little loud, but you're smexy. That's the main thing.
Awesome.
So
it's all good if I'm a little loud, as long as people like me.
That's right. So you said your guild's just recently formed and all that, which is all kind of cool. How did you decide to stick with your guild name? Was it something random? Did you watch a commercial for a charity on TV and you're like, hey, Amnesty International, let's do that? What was the thoughts behind it?
It's funny because I was just talking to some of the guild members and they're like, "Oh mate, he's going to ask you about the guild name. You got to come up with something." So, no, honestly, like Amnesty, I've owned a few guilds in the past, and Amnesty isn't something that I've used before, but I've always kind of swayed away from those long guild names, those three name guilds and stuff like that. I mean, like some of them sound pretty epic, but it's just more of my style in naming a guild to go for that short and simple one word thing. And I think that Amnesty sort of, not only does it sort of just roll off the tongue, but as you said, it really gives us that sense of like a place for all sort of thing. Like, I mean, if our members are willing to put in the work, then they're gonna get a lot out of that. I mean, I'm no charity case, so no. I guess it hasn't really got much to do with the charity side of the word amnesty, but yeah, that's pretty much where I'm coming from with the name.
That's good. It's always good when there's at least some sort of story behind a name. I'm happy about it. You're happy about it. And short and sweet is definitely the thing. I knew a guild. They're a European guild. It was about 12 words long. Their acronym was actually just a shorter version of their entire guild name, which was just weird, but can't remember what it was.
Yeah, right.
It was in the Lord of the Rings Online days. That's
okay, back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a thing. Now, I guess the beautiful question is, why was the guild formed? Is it just you decided to grab a group of friends and be like, let's make a stake for possibly a castle in this game, or did you just like, I want to be a guild leader because I'm power hungry?
Yeah, I guess there's a few things that sort of played into that. Me and one of my good mates decided like, oh yeah, Ashes of Creation coming out. We want to play this game pretty hardcore, but like really enjoy it with a good group of people. So we thought, oh, let's join a guild, and then one thing led to another, and instead of deciding to join a guild, we're like, oh, let's make a guild. And I said, well, that's great because I have a lot of experience running guilds. I've done a heap in the past, and Ashes of Creation is a game that I'm really keen for. So I thought, oh, you know what, like this looks pretty fun. I guess the purpose of the guild is really just we made it because we want a group of like committed players, but not only committed players, friendly like community based players to explore the depths of this game with. Like, we know already that this game is going to, like, Ashes is going to explore so many different aspects of what an MMO is supposed to be. So I guess exploring that with a huge, like, maybe not a huge base, but like a generally large player base is something that I've always been really passionate about doing when it comes to MMOs. So I guess that was the main reason behind forming the guild.
That's definitely good. Having like-minded individuals to play with it definitely helps. It's when you get those weird inner circle things happening, it starts to go a bit weird.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I can't say much about weird inner circle things, but I mean, some of the guild members are pretty cool. So it's pretty good already. Like, wasn't really expecting this outcome, but we've really got a lot of interest already, and that's something that makes me really happy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Being able to explore it all as a community is going to be a fun thing, especially that we have local servers. We can do it with good ping. Now, I'm going to throw you the really fun question, which everyone seems to hate. You have the choice between 5 really good players and 10 really average players. Which would you prefer, and how would you go about it?
All right, okay. Someone said that like this was going to come up as well. I like this question. I really like this question. It really depends when I'm answering this on the attitudes of the players. If we're talking 5 obnoxious elitist players that are just that are really good, but they need to have their egos stroked 24/7, then I'd go for those 10 not so good players any day. But if we're talking a base personality, then I mean it's a bit of an overused saying, but let's be real, quality over quantity.
That is definitely true. Yeah, if they're obnoxious, if they're just snobby elitists, you don't really want them. Even if they are the best players on the server, if they're going to be that kind of person, nah.
No, yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Like, I don't want those sort of people in the guild, and as I've said to my members, like there will be systems in place to keep those people from staying in the guild for too long if they do manage to find their way in. But I mean, yeah, if we're talking about 5 really nice good players and 10 really nice bad players, I'll be honest, I probably would choose the 5 better players because. I mean, it's one thing to have a big guild, but it's one thing to have a tight knit group of people that that really are passionate about the game and really want to progress. And I mean, not only that, but they're good players. So I guess yeah, as I said, quality over quantity. But yeah, no obnoxious attitudes. That's certainly not what we want around.
And that is definitely the main thing. Sorry, I'm just reading Twitch chat while we're talking. It's a fun thing.
No,
yeah,
that's fine. Twitch chat is
is
always fun.
Definitely going to bring in the question that... See, I've got this list of questions that people really hate, but you're going to have to endure as well. What is your favourite feature that has currently been announced?
No, you know what? I don't hate this question. This is good. This is good. Like, I guess answering this is difficult because they've... in the last few months have just sort of flooded with us with all this content like, hey, look, this is what Ashes is going to be like. Enjoy it. So I don't know. Like, I guess if I had to pick one thing, it's the diversity of the game and the diversity of the content. Really, what like how much. For lack of a better word, stuff is going to be in Ashes of Creation is what really impresses me. Like the fact that an entire server might go a year, and then a particular node will grow to the Metropolis size, and only because of that happening once after a year of playtime, a dungeon will appear. Just like down a path, and you'll think like, oh, I've never seen this before, but like in reality it's never existed on that server before, and I think that's just phenomenal. Like it's amazing that the game is forever changing, and because the game is ever changing, there will be new things that everyone is learning, and that's just nothing I've experienced in an MMO before, and I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and that's what's going to make it really fun, is the fact that some servers may never even see that content ever. You just have to kind of hope. And that also brings us to the great thing of, we were told that server transfers may or may not exist. Hopefully they don't, because the way the servers are going to progress, some people could have something on one server, may not on another, so it could be terrible. But we'll find out as that goes what's going to happen. And now for the opposite question, what's your least favourite feature that has been announced so far?
Least favorite feature? Jesus. Okay. Okay. You're actually testing me with this one, because this isn't something I expected was going to be asked at all. So so I have to quickly sort of drum through the memories that I've got. Okay. Look, I'm not going to go, and this is a completely personal thing. I'm going to say, as far as currently what I've seen, the style, the graphic style, not so much of the world but of the characters and of the monsters, isn't necessarily my style of MMO. To say that that's gonna degrade the experiences of Ashes of Creation for me is like, that's not true. But personally, like, I mean, the background that I've come from with MMOs, like, I've had thousands and thousands of hours of experience in games like Fiesta and Aura Kingdom and Blade and Soul, and they really have that Eastern style, I guess, anime based look to them. And Ashes of Creation is like, the world is beautiful, but everything other than that sort of makes me feel like I'm watching Lord of the Rings. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm a diehard Lord of the Rings fan, but like, it's just not something I've really experienced before at a like a hardcore level, to say. So I guess I can't really say that that's my least favorite, but it'll definitely be quite new to me.
No, that is definitely a thing. The world does look beautiful. The background video that seems to be lagging for some reason on my stream. I'm not sure if it's for everyone else. It definitely seems to be patchy. Don't know why. Probably because I'm recording in super high definition RAW. But that's okay. Turns out VOD is turned on, by the way, so I don't have to record, but I'm not stopping the stream. Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. I had a couple of problems with the stream, but all of my guild members were like, "Oh no, we can hear it perfectly." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's probably just my shitty internet."
Yeah, that's fine. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I haven't streamed with Mike going through the stream before. It's always gone through Discord, which I've been recording. And that's right.
Yeah.
I like it HD and RAW, 4K all the way.
Yes, I saw that one. I was thinking, wow, that's a interesting comment, but I don't know what else you can expect from Twitch chat.
Exactly. Now, this is a great question. Gets you sort of having a little bit of input on the game that probably won't get implemented, but it's nice to know. If you could add any feature to the game that you possibly could, what would you add?
Oh, this is a good question. I love this. Okay. If I could add any feature to the game, what would it be? Just gonna have a short think about it again, because like, there are a couple of things I've really thought I want to be in this game, and I'm gonna say, if you don't mind, I'm gonna say two things. The first thing is because I'm really passionate about the guilds, and I love that Stephen is as well. I have been told that there won't be an optional implementable tax system in guilds. I really like that idea, because I am power and money hungry. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. I really like that idea. I think it keeps things at least at a semi-professional level, and it means that you don't have to chase up on members that you don't think have been contributing to the guild at all. People can go do their own thing, but they're always going to have that base contribution. The other thing, personally, and this is not really a game thing at all, I don't know what the idea around this is yet, but I really, really, really hope that there is only going to be one OCE server. I know that in the past, I've played a lot of games, not just MMOs, but MOBAs and games like that as well. There's been a bit of an issue when more than one OCE or SEA server is created, because it sort of just halves the already small population. We already need to really try in OCE to get that population flow coming in, and we really need to work hard to keep it growing and keep it steady. So, like, yeah, I really hope that the guys at Ashes and Intrepid don't think it's a good idea to throw in more than one server for OCE, because it really is a hard community to keep alive. Or we already have population issues, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I don't want that to be a thing in Ashes of Creation.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. There isn't a huge amount of us. And what also hurts me is I've been looking in the Discord for a while now, in the forums, and a lot of people from the Oceanic region will be playing on North American servers purely because they've made friends from previous. And it kind of scares me.
Yeah, that is it's a bit of a worry. Like, I mean, it really does suck. Like, I guess if you make friends from previous MMOs and then come over to then you'll come over to Ashes and you're like, oh, I want to play on NA because these people I've been playing with for years. But like, personally, like, I feel as if, yeah, like, friendship and communities, like having those friends is important, but having that sense of community and keeping the OCE region alive in really great games like Ashes is more important to me personally.
definitely. I saw that proxy. I'm not crying. I'm just mentioning an issue. We have a question from one of our Twitch chat people here.
Awesome.
Yeah, here we go. In terms of how the guild is structured, and there are multiple ranks on it, do you keep it simple? Do you have 12 million ranks? I completely missed it because it was scrolling up, but yeah, do you keep it simple? Do you have 12 million ranks? How do you keep your structure?
Okay, so I mean, as I said, I've got a bit of experience running guilds, and this is something that has always, I mean, not so much been an issue, but it's something that you really have to step around when you're creating the ranking system in a guild. I don't like to, I love to hold the power of owning a guild, but I don't like to hold too much power above my officers. I really like to have that I guess, Knights of the Round Table sense sort of thing, where the guild leader and the officers are a team that sort of decides what happens in this guild, and then you've got the outer ring of members as well, like sort of having their input on everything. I guess I'm not going to have too many ranks. Like I'm not going to have rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like I think that's a bit too much, but I think appropriately 3 to 5 ranks is something that's obviously you've got your guild leader, maybe some co-leaders or something like that, or officers. Then you've got your regular members, and then obviously your recruits or something like that. Like I think a basic hierarchy that is interchangeable and adjustable as players prove themselves or really step up as far as guild contribution goes is something that I've always looked for, and I will continue to look for in Amnesty and Ashes of Creation. So I guess that's the way I'm looking at structuring my guild hierarchy.
No, I can definitely understand. Giving your members snowflake ranks usually means more people want a snowflake rank, and then you'll have 5 million ranks, and then it's just a big cluster. So we don't worry about that. And that is pretty much all the questions we have for you, Saber. Is there any parting words you'd like to give us before you disappear?
Awesome. Just thanks for interviewing me. I really hope that we get a bit of feedback. Maybe some people come in and checking us out. So come say hi, because all the guys are really nice. Some of us are a bit nutty, but that's about it. And probably one last thing before I head off, just wanted to wish good luck to Kanga Esports, who will be competing at the Smite Oceanic finals tomorrow. That's completely irrelevant, but I thought I'd just throw it in for good measure.
I like that. Thank you for that. Always good to see people cheering on other Oceanic people.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview, Colin.
No worries. Now, this is beautiful. Now, while Saber's disappearing out of my channel and I find my next guests,
I will do that.
I'm not going to have any intermission music because I don't have it. Alrighty, and now I need to try and figure out where my overlay is. But yeah, thanks Saber and Amnesty. They're going to be a fun guild to play with. Okie dokie, now next guests to be interviewed are Enlightened. Now, give me 2 seconds to find your little guild logo banner thing.
Yep, no worries.
Magic. It should appear on the stream any moment now. Hopefully soon. I have no idea how much the delay is, but there's a delay of some sort. Welcome, guys. It's going to be fun. Another Oceanic Guild. Looking forward to it. Give us a brief introduction and a spiel about yourselves.
Well, I am Nev. I'm Max's wife, and he and I founded Enlightened in 2010 in World of Warcraft. And yeah, we're just really excited and looking forward to Ashes and just gearing up and getting ready. And yeah, can't wait. I want that key, that December key. You got to give it to me.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Now, I personally can't give them out. They're a randomly generated thing. But yeah, it'll definitely be fun. Now, I'm just going to leave you for 2 seconds because, okay, we're back. Does the stream actually have your guild logo on it, by the way? I can't see it.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Nice, alrighty. So as you can see, beautiful guild logo, beautiful everything. Alrighty, now this will be the fun part. Why was the guild formed?
Well, we'd been involved in several guilds, oceanic guilds, but we never really found that right mixture. Kind of what we were really wanting is a relaxed environment, but still with focus on end game progression. And the guilds that we had been in previously, we always ended up, contributing to such a high level that we were soon made officers and found ourselves throwing all of our time into the guild. And ultimately, the guilds weren't steering in the direction that we were wanting them to, that environment, that relaxed environment, that end game progression. It was either too much one way or the other. And so after discussing it, Lex and I decided to form our own guild. And we did that during Wrath. And we raided through all the end game content in Wrath, and we had a blast doing it. And that was exactly what we wanted to achieve. We had lots of fun and great people, and we got to see the content together and enjoy it together as a group. And we're aiming to do that in Ashes.
That is definitely a good thing. Yeah, I never really did that from the start. I always just made my own guild because there's usually a lack of our presence in guilds. But yeah, when you sort of join a guild and you become one of the higher ranks very quickly because you actually do things, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, especially when you what I think we found in the guilds that we were in previously was it was just either too lackadaisical, or it was just so hardcore. It was just, Mach 3 with your hair on fire. So we're just looking for a nice kind of mixture of those two.
Alrighty, sorry, I just got a big barrage of messages on Discord for some reason. Don't know why,
No worries.
but that is fine. What's the meaning behind your guild name? Is it because you became enlightened, realizing that being a leader is actually better than being a pleb, or is there some sort of hidden meaning behind it?
No, I just think it kind of embodies the word enlightened, kind of embodies what we were looking for. Just I'll let you take that one, Lex.
Not scrubs and not elitists.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely good.
And it sounds cool.
Yeah, that definitely is cool, and you got the cool little phoenixy flower looking thing in the background there. It's a beautiful thing. Now, this is going to be the fun part. I love this question. People hate it. If you had the choice between 5 really good players and 10 not so good players, who would you choose and how would you go about it?
Well, that's not really a tough question. It's a little tough, but I think it's a good question. I'd have to say a bit of both. We don't want Enlightened to be elitist, but we also want to have a really good mix of people from every level in the guild. And when you start talking about 5 decent players or 10 average players, Ashes is with 9 races, 64 class combinations, and looking at the fundamental design and how many pathways there are to greatness in Ashes. I think it's unfair to pigeonhole people as a really great player or an average player. I think people are going to immerse themselves into this game. They're going to find their path and they're going to walk it. And so if I choose to be a farmer or an artisan or a warrior or the mayor of a town, these things, I think ultimately if somebody is in the game and they're enjoying the content and they're enjoying what they're doing, they're all going to be above average. Because they're going to be having fun. They're going to be doing what makes them happy.
That is definitely the main thing. Yeah, having fun.
Yeah, I can't answer your question. Just 5 decent players or 10 average players. I just want to have like-minded, mature attitude, people who want to have fun, and a thoughtful approach to doing things, and to be pretty chill and friendly. So, anybody with that kind of a combination or who wants to be in an environment like that, then I think Enlighten's the place for them.
That is definitely the thing. Now, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. This is pretty much gives you insight onto your inner psyche and how you want to run things, which is really good. Which
I'm a
brings
tyrant.
brings us to the slightly next question, which was relatively on point to what you just answered then. What sort of, I guess, style of guild will you be running? Will you be focusing on PvP, PvE, bit of both, ganking people that are running on caravans? Will you be protecting caravans and bounty hunting?
Yeah, I think when we're looking at what kind of a guild and what direction that our focus will be, in the beginning we're going to be really broadly focused as we kind of sink our teeth into the content and begin to understand how it's going to evolve and how we want our node to evolve. And we want everyone in our guild to experience as much of what Ashes has to offer as possible. So whether it be PvE or PvP, crafting, whatever whatever does it for you, then we just want to bring all of these people in and work together as a team in a transparent way through discussion and just take stock and see where we want to focus in particular areas as we move through the content in the beginning. So clusters of our guild may focus on raiding, or others on arenas, or some people might want to just RP. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I think it's just as the world is going to be ever evolving, so will our guild be evolving with it.
And that is definitely the best way to do it. You don't want to tie yourself down to one specific thing, because it does get boring after a while, and this looks like, if it does turn out to be the greatest game in the world like it aims to be, we'll be here for a while, so sticking to one specific style of gaming will definitely make it unfun over time.
Yeah. I think, that's like, if you're going to go into a game that isn't static, that doesn't have a point A, where you're going to start at point A and arrive at a certain point following that through so many steps, and it's going to be the same exact thing every time you play it. You take other games out there where it's like the same quest line over and over and over, or the dailies, the same ones over and over. And, that is tedious. So what I'm looking forward to with Ashes isn't kind of, that ever-evolving, all of the possibilities, and being able to steer it as a group, as a community, in the direction that all of us, or the majority of us. I'm sure there'll be people who say, no, we don't want to do that. But I think that just steering into a specific direction without having that open-mindedness to see what else, Ashes has to offer. I don't want to put blinders on. I don't want to tunnel into a certain direction and miss out on something else that could have been great.
No, that's definitely the way. And with the way the server's going to work, if we do get multiple servers, it's going to be weird. If we only get the one server, we'll definitely see a lot of changes. So one week we may have access to a dungeon, next week we may not. So people that want to raid may be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess it just matters how many people are. I think initially it would make sense to just be one server and then expand as is required. But who knows? I mean, this game is exploding. There's so much hype around it right now. It may be that they have enough people that are signed up that they might have more than one server to start with, Oceanic anyway. So the more the merrier.
Yeah, it'll definitely be good when we find out how many people are actually interested. Like right now, there's probably a good, I'd say close to 10,000 people, probably more on the forums that are interested from our sort of region. But it could grow. The more publicity it gets, the better it is. Because remember, they don't focus on marketing. It's mainly
it's not really the publicity. It's really just the word of mouth. It's the player to player, and I think that's its strong suit. Is they're not out there throwing money at marketing and publicity. They're putting that money into development and to creating a really amazing world for us to all go and experience together.
And that is the main thing. Having a good game to play finally out of the massive sea of bad
finally.
MMOs.
Oh yeah.
And that brings us to the fun question. What feature are you most looking forward to? Now, I know this is going to be a fun question for you.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the streams, and specifically like on May 19th, they were talking about how the nodes are working, and one of the features that I'm really interested in, and to understand exactly how the nodes are going to work. Say your node is destroyed or your home is destroyed. How long will it take for you to build it back up? Are you going to be able to have like a blueprint that you can just draw off of, and over so much time it will rebuild? Or are you going to have to go out and farm tons of resources? Are you going to lose everything? I mean, it could be like, just soul wrenching, to work so hard for so long to build up your community, and then in 3 fateful days of battle, everything is lost and you're sitting in the ashes. So, yeah, I really am looking forward to understanding how the nodes work more, and to seeing how they're built. And yeah, and Lex is really the technical guy. He understands how this works, and so I'm going to defer to him and let him answer the question also. Speak up, honey.
Well, no, I think you said it. The node system is what's really drawn me into the game, and it'll be just fun to experience it and see how it works. It's all very well to, watch how it works in theory, but actually playing it's going to be, how I'll judge it to be, whether it's going to work or not. So I'm pretty sure it will work. I'm looking forward to it.
And that is the thing. Now, I'm going to skip the question about the least liked feature because people seem to be not liking that question. And I'll skip to the question about if you could add in any feature that you could out of any game, your imagination, whatever you can think of, what would it be?
Well, personally, I'm wanting to see a PvE type karma system. I know there's a PvP type karma system with the corruption, but I think a PvE karma system would add another dimension to the game and help it be more dynamic in terms of quest lines which are branching in different directions based on the decisions you're making. For example, if you on a quest line to escort somebody and you have a choice between negotiating with some guards to grant you passage, or whether you could kill the guards, and that gives you negative or positive karma in that situation in the PvE sense, and that could be used for very interesting things in terms of the types of rewards you get. Maybe you'll be getting evil versus good type skins on your weapons and other gear, and maybe different branches will open up for you if you take different choices. If you've risked something to save somebody's life, or you were selfish about something in order to get the best kind of loot, those are both kind of possibilities that players of different types would love to explore. I'd love to explore the evil side and the good side, and it's just another dimension to the PvE aspect.
Yeah, of course. Having a corruption sort of system, or just even a penalty system for PvE, would be really interesting because no one really touches on that ever. Usually in games, the guards, for example, of a town will come kill you instantly if you're bad. That's really it is. So being able to kill guards, for example, maybe even if that's a thing about attacking a node, you may be able to kill the guards, make it slightly easier to attack. It could be a really interesting system. Alrighty.
Yeah.
And that's all we have time for you guys. Thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much
Thanks,
for having
Bob.
us. Yeah.
We're a late edition, but that's okay. We have time for everyone because, well, we don't have many guilds to interview. But we did it anyway.
Well, it was great. Thanks so much. And if anybody out there thinks that Enlightened is for them, then just contact myself or LexMax, and we look forward to hearing from you.
And we'll put that $50 in your PayPal, is it for the alpha key? Oh, sorry, we're still on.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that yet. And then unfortunately, I don't actually have the key myself. I just tell someone, and they will provide
Damn
you
it.
with the key.
Fraud.
But that's okay.
Okay, Pelham, thanks again. Thanks so much. It was great.
No worries. And now we did have another guild up. Give me 2 seconds to. Actually, I don't even have a thing designed for him. There we go. Nocturnal. It looks like an Oceanic Southeast Asian guild. Unfortunately, their leader could not be with us tonight, so yeah, they can't join us. Nocturnal is the guild. Keep an eye out in the main Ashes Discord. I think there was someone in the channel just before if you wish to go speak to him. But yeah, unfortunately, not here. Now, I am going to I'm going to throw us across to our beautiful community manager, Shunks, who's going to pop into the channel whenever he pops into the channel, and he's going to give us some wise words. It's going to be beautiful. He's going to explain what it's like being a community manager in the main Ashes Discord and his sort of role of what he does on the forums and the website and in the back areas. If he joins me in chat. Nope, it looks like he has not joined us. That is not fun. Oh wait, he just popped into the channel. Shunks, say hi, introduce yourself, do your thing.
How you doing, guys?
Alrighty, you are slightly low. You may need to speak up a little, but yeah.
How's that? How are we doing?
You are definitely louder, and I think people are just happy to put a voice to a name. And you're also called Soft, but that's okay. Explain what you do, how it works, and I'm going AFK for 1 minute.
Okay, so basically I am the Oceanic Community Moderator. I look after everything while everyone is sleeping, NA, EU, etc. like that. Basically, I'm really happy to be a part of something like the Ashes creation community, because Stephen have said that community is one of the most important things about MMOs, which I agree with. And being a mod helps me shape that sort of thing. Does anyone have any questions for me from the Twitch chat, Ashes chat, anything like that? No, I am not a bot. I am a real person. I think everyone would hate it if I sung a song. Sorry, Autumn. Aspiring community managers, I have no clue. Community moderators, I myself have been a part of the leadership of many guilds and communities, so I've dealt with a lot of people. I've done hospitality, so you know, you can talk to people, get shit sorted, stuff like that. I think that's one of the most important things, is being able to talk to people and help them out when they need help. Would I pick 5 dank lords or 10 plebs? I'd rather pick the 10 plebs personally and turn them into dank lords.
Alright, that was beautiful. Now, I'm not going to tell you why I disappeared for a minute, but I did. Was it fun?
Left me hanging.
Yeah, you having fun here? It's a beautiful thing. Have we done well so far? Have you been listening in?
Yeah, man, it's been really good. I'm excited to see a lot of these Oceanic guilds. little disappointed that there isn't a lot more, but still only early days.
That is definitely correct.
And if someone's guild would stop absorbing other guilds, that'd be great too, just saying.
Yeah, I may or may not have been going to the loo. I'm glad to see that everyone linked that in the chat after I mentioned that in the Discord. It's a beautiful thing. But yes, that's cool. On that note, I don't actually know who I have up next. I have to find my list.
I think it is Arjun.
My god, it's my own guild. I'm not even ready for it. Give me 2 seconds while I do my thingy.
I think we've lost Pelham again. And yes, he does sound like an oceanic proxy.
That scares me a little. And I haven't lost. You haven't lost me.
Maybe
I
they're clones.
That is slightly weird. Yeah, it's because I wish I was Death Proxy. But now we're just waiting on the representative from my guild to pop in so I can ask him questions, because asking myself questions is a bit weird, although I could.
I do have contact with some of the devs, mainly Yavi, in case anything ever goes wrong. So I can get answers to questions that people need, stuff like that.
Now this was all pre-prepared, by the way, just so you know. It is going smoothly. I plan to have a transition phase here. We're not drawing it out for the Southeast Asian people. How did I get this job? You're very curious. Well, that is a really good question. I was nominated by Needle to do this, probably because everyone loves my my podcast I do with Saru on our Sunday morning or North American Saturday night. Also a YouTube star, sort of. And it appears that my member is having trouble connecting to the main Ashes Discord. That's going to be interesting. No worries. Audience participation is what makes it beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of scary. He hasn't PM'd me back. I'm like, keep active. So I can PM you so you can jump into the channel and we can talk about it. It's okay, there's technical difficulties, but we're back and we're going to be sorting it out. We'll be interviewing my guild shortly. In fact, he has just joined the channel. Give me 2 seconds to find my overlay for my own guild, which I'm hoping is here. It is. Magic. Axel, welcome. Representative from my guild, Argent. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Introduce yourself and how you became part of Argent. It'll be a fun thing.
Let's see. When did I join?
It was in Revelations, if that helps.
Yeah. Back in Rev.
Yes, I should call Jack on Skype. No, I'm not going to call Jack Skype. In fact, he's from the EU, so maybe he should be in the next session. Alright, I was just messaged about a guild spot, and unfortunately, if you are listening, Salsa Man, the spots are taken, but the next guild fair will be happening soon. Alrighty, so we'll jump straight into it, because these questions aren't really prepared, and I can probably answer them half myself, but it's going to be weird. If you had the opportunity to recruit 5 really good players or 10 really average players, what would you prefer in that sense?
Let me think. It would depend entirely on the players themselves. If it were for 5 elitist snobby players, I probably wouldn't want them.
That is definitely true. We actually just have a question from the audience here. What is the guild fare? Now, this is to probably the Oceanic people mainly, and because I have no idea how it works overseas. Last few years of school, and you go to like a career expo to learn about future pathways and all the bits and pieces. Exactly that. Instead of stalls where you'll find out about jobs, you will. Sorry, someone just joined the channel. It freaked me out. You'll get pamphlets and paraphernalia about guilds, so you can learn to join them. Jump around all the channels, by the way. There's 6 million voice channels. Introduce yourself, join a guild, find one that suits you. And yeah, I will actually promote my guild a little bit here because we're interviewing my guild. We formed back in '99. It was a wintry August Thursday. It was magnificent. And we formed because there was a distinct lack of Australian and Oceanic presence in general in the MMOs at the time, which they were very rough and very crude, but they were good MMOs. Ultima Online was my first, and it was a pretty good game. I still play it to this day. Even though there's a private server with maybe 100 people on it, still a great game. But that's enough of that. Oh wow, my Twitch just updated to show that. Yeah, my Twitch is breaking on my other screen, but that's okay. More on this. We do have an alpha key available, by the way. Currently, no one is in the running for it. Just so you know. And yeah, UO was definitely the first MMO. It's a beautiful thing. If anyone says World of Warcraft was the first MMO in Twitch chat, I may have to turn off Twitch chat. Alrighty, and on that note, what will our focus be in Ashes of Creation?
Our focus. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Well, are we going to be focusing on PvP, PvE, bit of crafting, ganking people with caravans, that sort of thing. Now, as you can see, I have completely caught Axel off guard here, but that's okay. It's a good learning experience.
Yeah, definitely we'll be dabbling in everything. A bit more of a focus on PvP since we'll have reasonably good ping on local servers.
That is definitely true. Being able to PvP with 40 ping, I'm looking forward to it. Caravans, gotta say, yeah, caravans are going to be interesting. Alrighty, and yeah, what we'll do is, I'm looking at Twitch chat be spammed by people. That's fun. No, that's okay. What we'll be doing as well? Most anticipated feature of Ashes of Creation. Now, I'm personally looking forward to pretty much castle sieges and just dominating other players in really good local ping, where I don't have to wait 3 seconds to actually see my move go off. And yes, unfortunately, from what we know, there's going to be iframes on moves. Prepare yourselves. It's going to be an interesting thing.
Oh boy.
Also, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Zandal's Rest. It's an inn. He is actually selling franchises right now. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be a fun thing. Yeah, if there's one feature that I could add to Ashes of Creation from anywhere, it would definitely have to be degradation of perishable items. Like, say you pick some berries, you've got an X amount of time to use those berries. If you don't use them, they go off you can't really use them anymore. And that sort of thing. Like if you kill an animal, get like a piece of meat from it, you have to use that meat within X amount of time, or it becomes useless. I reckon having perishable items, specifically food related to do with crafting, would be really cool and add a fairly cool thing into the game. I apologize for taking over, by the way, Axel. It's just what I did.
That's fine. It's your show, man.
Is there any parting words, Axel, while I try and figure out who my next guest is?
So where did when was the guild founded?
I'm not giving away the alpha key. Stop asking. You need to wait till the end of the stream and you get that. Guild was founded in '99. It was a beautiful time. I was young, slightly more intelligent than the average person. Still at school. It was fun. But on that note, I can see that Elder is currently in AOC chat. Tell your guys to jump into the channel. They're coming up soon. And with that, Axel, by the way, was a random person that I dragged from my guild into this interview because it was going to be weird talking to myself about myself for the past 20 minutes. Axel, you've done a good job. I thank you for that. You can disappear back to Final Fantasy. I will be joining you guys in an hour or so, depending on how long it takes the rest of the thing to happen.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you. Alrighty, up next we have Titans. Now I do have a thingy for him here. I have to say their guild logo is beautiful. I'm pretty sure I asked them on the spot, I need a guild logo, and they gave me this. Should appear shortly. It's great. We're here with Steve the Seed, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but you can pronounce it. Introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Kunishi X, and...
Oh, are we doing this? Oh, I'm Steve the Seed. Boys, the seediest Steve. I don't know. Yeah, introductions. They're weird.
That is beautiful, guys. This is the thing. It's not scripted. That's what makes it beautiful. Now, I guess the big important question here, since you're a relatively new guild, I take it from the conversations I've had with you guys earlier, why did you guys form? You're a group of friends that just wanted to be like, hey, let's have a guild name and have our flag flying on castles. I'm also laughing at Twitch chat, laughing at your logo. It's hilarious. I do have to point out with your logo.
It's brilliant.
Have to point out, it's not an Australian map in the background. Kind of disappointed about that, but that's okay.
Oh, I was rushed for time. I literally just searched Google Maps and took the first image.
20 seconds to make it.
20 seconds.
But that's beautiful. These guys are loving it. Twitch chat is absolutely on fire right now. They are enjoying all parts about it. So yeah, since you recently, you recently formed. That's all good. What will your focus be?
Go.
You go.
You go first.
All right. Our goal is to really just make a community where people can join and be very close to each other. We just want to make lots of friends and just have people. I don't know.
Have people. No, it's like so it's just a community that we want to make and grow, where we can like share memories and things, but also like help each other out. It's not really about being the best. It's about having someone there that can help you when you need help in the game or somewhere else. You know, just help out each other, get a community, make memories. You know, have fun.
Loving Elder's comments, by the way. You guys are truly crushing it. He's very proud of you. That's good. See, the sense of community is definitely what makes the game fun. And that's the thing. If you don't play with people that are fun to play with, you're going to have a bad time. Like, there's a few extremely big guilds out there with an extremely terrible reputation. Don't recommend playing with them.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, I'd rather have a guild with people I knew than a guild with strangers, even if the other guild was like better off. That's why that's the actual goal, is to get like a tight, closed group of people You know, so they could start off a stranger, but you talk to them and you interact. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm a part of this guild. It's the community. I've used that word twice now.
That's good. Community is definitely all about it. So, you know, someday you'll meet this random guy running around Goldshire. Then you find out that he's great, invite him to your guild. Not going to say you do some weird ERP stuff, but you could. And then you meet up in real life, and it's a whole weird thing. But community is definitely where it is at. Which brings us to the beautiful question: what will your guild be focusing on? Will you be focusing on like PvP, PvE in the raid and dungeon aspect, crafting, slapping people that have caravans, or protecting them?
We're gonna be a PvX-based guild, so we're gonna do PvE, but we won't be afraid to do PvE if it comes down to it. And you know, it's just again, it's that interaction. So like, it's going to be a place where if you need help crafting, there'll be people to help you there. If you need help leveling, there'll be people to help you there. It's not really about trying to go all the way out. It's not about trying to go to do nothing. It's just that midpoint. Won't be afraid of doing people.
That is good. See, we do need people to do raids, to get the materials, to get us PvPers like myself the good gear. That's all about it. Now I will I'm going to just have a quick moment for a second. While you guys explain what feature are you most looking forward to in Ashes of Creation, I'm going to read this beautiful DM that I got in Discord.
Okay, that's for Aldine to explain. The small Asian child, our mascot.
Alright. Really just noob physics. No, I'm sorry, I'm just joking. I really want to see some sort of world mining systems where you're able to create your own cave or anything like that and have your own sort of dungeons. And where you're able to hold your own dungeon where other guilds can raid and loot as well, so that it's really just an all-round just guild to guild thing.
That is beautiful. I'm glad I haven't prepared you guys, because this is what makes it fun. Part of the community, clearly you're unprepared, and that's what makes it good. If
Boy, that Twitch
all
chat
about
with
fun.
Jiggle Physics.
Exactly. Jiggle physics are definitely where it is at. They'll make the game. If you're going to be some sort of weird 7-foot orc with the breast slider all the way to the right, it's going to be a bit weird. But hey, if that floats your boat, I am definitely okay with it. And yeah, I'm so glad everyone has picked up that I said jizzle physics. But that's okay. Does happen. It's not my fault. I have been drinking because this is nerve-wracking. And on that note, what is a feature that you're not looking forward to, or a feature that if they implement into the game, you will probably cry?
That would be if they made a pay to win. I would not like that.
That's really the only thing we are sort of hoping that doesn't happen.
There's not really much that I don't really want from this game. I don't really think about the downs of this game. I just think about how great it's going to be, and I try to ignore what hasn't been said that will destroy it. I know.
No, that's cool. Well, Stephen has said multiple times that he is not going to make it pay to win, I should say. If he does, he said you're allowed to fly to the United States and slap him. Don't quote me on that, because he may not have said that, but that's how I got the impression of if he makes the game pay to win. He's pretty much against it. He saw how bad Arcade was. That was pretty bad. The Thunderstruck logs, whole thing. No. But that's really good. And this is the important question. If you can add any feature to the game, no matter what it is, how weird it is, walking on your hands, for example, what would it be?
It would definitely be a cross-server PvP, so Titans can take on EU and NA because they'd win. Because OCE is best. Just saying. I was talking to OCE, Titans can 1v1 Blue Dawn and win. Nah, but
Yeah, it's a
all
bit too
seriously, across server PvP would be kind of cool.
That is definitely a feature that would be good. Yeah, I'm not sure about playing against NA people on our... Well, I guess NA people wouldn't be too bad if the servers are located on the west side. If we're against European people, could be a bit terrible. Could be like 5 million ping. That would suck a
Yeah.
bit bad. but-
Yeah.
I was just joking because I was talking to them on the Discord earlier. They're a good bunch. I love the community here. It's great.
It is definitely a good community, and it is one of the biggest and probably the most active communities I've seen in a game that's not coming out for 2-ish years. It's really creepy actually, but in a good sense, not creepy weird sense. And that does almost bring us to a close for you guys. Is there any parting words or anything you'd like to leave us with?
Not really. I would just like to thank Stephen for creating this amazing community that we have now. And everyone here is just really friendly and all accepting, and yeah, that's really just it.
Yeah, we definitely do thank Stephen for this, and the fact that he actually plays games also makes me feel really happy. And that is pretty much it. Thank you guys from Titans. There will be links to all of these guild forum threads and stuff somewhere, possibly on YouTube, I don't know. But it'll definitely be a thing. Thanks to you guys. You can jump out of the channel now, or old mate Shulks here can drag you out. And in doing so, my guest just disappeared. That's really interesting. Alrighty. My next guest is back. There we go. Welcome, Autumn Awillow from Sector Find Your Overlay.
Yes.
There we go. Your overlay is up and running. How are you, mate? You doing well this Friday night?
I'm doing fine. My kids have been locked out of the room. They're smashing the door down. You can hear them knocking in the background.
You definitely can, but that's okay.
Yep. I think G might be able to join us later, but I'm not sure. He was trying to practice his orc voice.
No worries. Well, we're here for another 10-ish minutes, so
Okay.
that'll be fine. And yes, Autumn Willow is a great name. There was a story behind it. Would you like to tell us a story of why you've got the name Autumn Willow?
Autumn Willow? Okay, Autumn Willow's named after a magic card that I used to play when I was in secondary school. I like the name so much that I actually named 2 of my daughters after the card, Autumn and Willow. So it's my go-to name in single-player games. I don't usually get to choose Autumn in multiplayer games because it's quite a popular name. Yeah, but aside from that, I have many kids that are named after magic cards. Yes,
No
the
worries.
bandits.
It's good. And yeah, you've got a bit of hype here. You are, I think, the first Southeast Asian guild we've had on so far. We've had to leave you guys until last. Just because of the time difference. Organisers for this didn't realise that you guys are like +8, +12 and whatever.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours ahead, about 7:30 right now.
Exactly. It's currently 9 o'clock where I am, which is 9:30 in the eastern states of Australia, but that's okay. How was your guild formed? Was it a willy-nilly thing? Did you find a group of friends and go, let's make a guild?
G used to own a card store, one of those hobby stores where we had tabletop games and magic cards, and the core group of our players came from that store. It was called Soulcraft. It was in Singapore. We had a lot of magic cards and board games and Warhammer and Confrontation. And from there, the first big guild we made ourselves was called the Bandit Lords of Baubleshire, which was in EverQuest 2. We were a bunch of monstrous races from Freehold, and we did the Betrayal quest that allowed us to move over to the good side, and we settled in the little Shire, which is like the Hobbit town, like this bunch of trolls and orcs and little Rotongas, and we were hiding under bridges. So that's how we started our role play of the guild. Yeah, like a bunch of evil guys turned good.
That's
Like a Robin Hood like story.
That is a beautiful story. Like, not many guilds have really cool stories in their background. Most of them are like, a group of friends like, hey, let's make a guild one day. You actually have a cool story. I like it.
Thanks.
Which also brings me to this beautiful thing. What will your focus be on in Ashes of Creation? Will you be PvPers, PvEers? Will you craft, do a bit of everything? Will you sit there and hunt people that are running caravans by sitting in the trees waiting to jump on them and kill them?
We have thought about caravans and bandits. Like, it sounds really tempting to like jump on caravans and do what bandits do. But that will be really up to personal preference. We do cater to quite a wide variety of players, so we would consider ourselves PvX. Personally, myself and Amji, who's my brother, we do enjoy PvE a little more, but we're not against PvP. I mean, we have played in games like Warhammer and Guild Wars, where we were very into the PvP aspect. Aside from that, crafting as well, and general grinding, like Asians like grinding, so I like to grind.
That's definitely good. Having a single focus, I definitely feel will kill the game for a lot of guilds. Like, I know a couple of guilds that are going to do nothing but PvP, which is fun, but there's only so much you can sort of kill people.
I think we're definitely going to try like every aspect of the game, whether it's caravan, whether it's PvP, whether it's raiding, whether it's just trying to build our own node from scratch. We'll definitely try everything out.
And that's the way you're going to have to do it. And it's going to be a very big learning experience, especially with all of the servers being pretty much different depending on how the game plays out. We're not sure yet if the Southeast Asian and Australian communities will be playing together. They've lumped us together for the Guild Fair and a lot of other things. We're sort of combined. But we don't know if we're getting different.
Yeah. I haven't heard any confirmation as well, but we are fine with both. I mean, we could play in Southeast Asia, we could play in OCE even better, because a lot of the forum people are actually from OCE. I haven't seen many as Southeast Asians in forums. So I'm really fine with either.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like it's represented over there very well. So if you do spread the word, remember to spread the word. It's going to be a good thing.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we have more friends who are coming in. It's just that they are not really into Kickstarter, so they don't want to kickstart, or they are not joining the forums this early. It's like still 2 years away. So we do have quite a number of other players who are coming in, but they are not in the community right now.
Exactly, and there's a lot of people that are on the forums as well that aren't on Discord, so it's a bit harder to communicate with them, but they are there, and there's, 300,000 accounts or something on the forums now? That's something crazy. Shanks in the channel still does probably have the actual numbers, but we won't worry about that right now. Which brings us to the beautiful question of, what feature are you most looking forward to?
I mean, other than Jizzle physics?
Yeah.
Aside from that, there are quite a few things, but if I had to choose one, it would be actually monster taming. I understand there will be some monster taming in the game right now, like through the crafting profession, right? But I was hoping something along the lines of Ultima Online or Star Wars Galaxies, where you go out and you actually hunt for like a baby animal, and you nurture it and you level it up, and it becomes your combat pet. So I really like that a lot. The ability to like tame mounts and everything.
Yeah, taming mounts
So
is definitely really fun.
Yeah, correct. I think taming mounts is already in the game, but I would like to see a class that's purely focused on tamers. Maybe like a summoner ranger that you get to go out and like copy an animal or find an animal, and that becomes your permanent summons. You might still see aspects of that in the game, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, that is the thing. They have mentioned that skill augments supposedly won't affect the combat class, the non-combat classes. But hold on, why am I being? I did not pay to advertise
Sorry,
this, by the way.
Give me a moment. Let me check. Someone's knocking my door.
No
One
worries.
moment.
So it's definitely going to be interesting. I wonder if certain races will give benefits to doing things like taming, because we know that they're not meant to affect non-combat classes, but we don't know. I'm now going to have to look at this image that is being spammed in the Twitch chat.
I'm back. Sorry. Yes.
No, that is fine. Yeah, we understand. Everyone is. That is a beautiful image. I'm so glad that you put the effort into that picture. Thank you. I would show it on screen, but I cannot be bothered. Which brings us to a fun question of what feature are you going to be disappointed in or cry if they actually implement into the game?
I think like the Titans, right? They were the last guild that came on. Definitely, I don't want to see pay to win, any sort of pay to win, or even pay for convenience. I think Steven has mentioned that there will be costumes and cosmetics in the store, but he's trying to ensure that we don't feel pressured to want to buy. So I'm hoping to see a nice wide variety in the store. In the game itself that you can earn through achievements or through quests. But for myself, naturally, I will probably end up spending on costumes. But I'd like to see a wide variety in the game itself.
Yeah, we have been told that the glamour system is going to be pretty extensive. Supposedly, the cosmetics from the shop are going to be a little bit more intricate, possibly dyeable. It's going to be interesting, but supposedly there will be a large amount of glamour options inside the
Yeah,
game.
I would like that. I would like
it
to
would be
see
good.
customizability. Yeah, like having people look different, having your spells look different, having your clothes look different, your weapons.
That would definitely be a fun thing, like throwing a fireball. It's normally orange. We've seen it in the trailers. Orange fireballs. Being able to change the color of that to blue, even if it's not an augment from a second class, but an actual like a cosmetic, would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like a shadowy ball, shadow ball.
That's right. Definitely add some sort of I guess difference amongst all of the classes, which we good, because I have a feeling there's going to be certain classes that are going to just be everywhere. I'm looking at tank, cleric, the paladin class has been announced. I have a feeling every man and his best friend and his mum is going to be a paladin.
It's definitely going to be one of the more popular classes, and it seems like cleric bards, bard clerics, those seem pretty popular as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. How they do bards is going to be interesting, but that's okay.
Yeah. I'm super excited about bards. That will definitely be the class I'm playing personally.
And that does bring me to a really good question of if you could implement any feature into the game, no matter how weird it is, what would it be?
Implement any feature into the game.
Yep, could be something as simple as elves having beards, or even female elves having beards. Who knows?
I would implement having one character only on the server that forces people to rely on one another. Like you play only one class and you're only that crafter, so you will have to rely on the community to build something, which was something I think Star Wars Galaxies had. I mean, you could go around it by buying multiple accounts, but in general, people rely on one another, and you build your reputation as that single character.
Yeah, having the one character would be good. That it does pose a weird thing because supposedly each of our characters that we make will be able to enter a different guild, which to me sounds a bit weird because it's going to pose a lot of spies in the bigger, more influential guilds on servers. But
yeah, it actually encourages people to play weird alt, and that might spoil the community a little. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes. I'm still quite positive about everything.
exactly, that's the thing. There's going to be that many different things to do in the game. I have a feeling people won't get bored. And I just noticed David came online on Skype. That's a really good thing. I have no idea who David is, by the way. It's someone that
Yeah,
must
who's
have added me to
David?
Skype. That's good. That's it, and that is the end of the questions for me that I have for you. Is there anything you'd like to say before you disappear?
Not really. I can't think of any.
No,
Yeah,
that's okay.
I'll see you guys on the forum. The forum's really, really nice right now. I'm quite enjoying it. Discord's a bit fast for me. Like, I see the chats just fly by. So if you guys see me on the forum, just say hi. I'll see you guys in game. I'll definitely see you guys in the alpha. So that's where I'll get to meet most of you, and we'll get to see how the servers turn out. Hopefully, we'll get to play with OCE. That'll be nice as well.
It'll definitely be fun, and I can't wait to see everyone in game, especially you guys, knowing that you're now a known guild because of this beautiful guild fair. It'll be a fun thing. You can disappear from the channel whenever you're ready, while I figure out how to get the next guest.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.
No worries. All right, now our next guest is coming on via phone. He's actually at a dinner, and he has decided to leave his dinner so he can chat to us via his phone in the guild fair. That's pretty awesome. Give me 2 seconds to find his little guild thingy. Alrighty, and we have, when he eventually joins us in chat, he's on his phone, so it's going to be a bit of work, but it's pretty good. From Drifters. Just waiting for a thing. And someone else has pinged me. Alrighty, you've joined the channel. Welcome, I guess, Visago from Drifters. How are you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, yes, I am Vasago from Drifters, or ODA, Oda Overlord Drifters. It's I'm not the guild master, I'm more of the guild mouthpiece.
Always good to have one of those. I know I'm not the best with diplomacy, so I have one as well.
Yes, mouthpieces are incredible. Everyone should get one, at least.
That's right, and that's the main thing, is having a voice out there. I know I'm, definitely not good with diplomatic skills, not good. But first of all, I'll let you introduce your guild. How was it formed? Was it a group of friends? Did you like, hey, I like this elitist group, and you joined them? How did it all start?
It mostly started 4 years ago. Oda is around a creation from friction from several guilds in Guild Wars 2. And I got pulled into every single one of the faction guilds. So Oda is the one I'm representing within Ashes of Creation.
And that's really good. It's a good story. Hearing that, lots of factions, it's a fun thing. I know quite a few guilds that have formed from dying other guilds, or 20 other guilds forming into one big Zerg guild. It's always fun, and having different divisions of guilds is always fun as well. So do you guys still play Guild Wars 2 and everything, or?
I think there are still a few members that are playing Guild Wars 2. There are a couple in Revelation Online. We're all excited about the Siege warfare in Ashes of Creation. And the fact that it isn't really faction-based and more of a guild-based activity, whether you have alliances or enemies to deal with respect to your nodes and such, when it comes to resources, your caravans. And no, I am not a robot. This is not a speech program. I was born this voice. I am very much Filipino. Oda is an international guild. We're represented by Singaporeans, Malaysians, Taiwanese, Americans, Aussies, Filipinos, and we're all after not just common community building, but we're also here for ponage in the game, or excellence in our gaming. But that's something I think everyone in a computer game wants to do anyway. Yes, mabuhay Drax.
That is definitely good. Everyone, aims to be the top. Not everyone makes it, but having that goal is a really good thing.
It is.
And according to this, you're the Asian Morgan Freeman. There you go.
I am an Asian Morgan Freeman. Okay.
But that's a beautiful thing. So we know how your guild is formed, what it's all about. What will your focus be in Ashes?
It will most definitely be
PvP, I'd say, or a bit of everything.
It depends. It depends on the amount of factions that join in for Ashes of Creation, because the obvious focus would be on castle warfare, or castle siege, or guild versus guild. Even that's pretty much the primary focus. I'm not sure if we're going to go into economic dominance, or let's say node building, several node building at the same time, so empire building. I'm not sure if we're going to head in that direction. Economics could be a good secondary, but the primary one would have to be the warfare. The drama of guilds against guilds. Bodies smashing against each other.
That sounds like a movie I watched, which I'm not going to go into, but definitely steamy. Definitely PvP is going to be the fun thing.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait. And having local servers is also a really fun thing.
The hot movie this summer. Watch out for Ashes of Creation. It's man on woman on man, and woman, and
on elf.
Yes, there's a dog and some apple juice and an elf. There was an elf holding the camera.
That's
Yes.
yeah, it's going to be weird, but we like it. And on that note, features. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to in Ashes of Creation?
Guild-wise, it definitely is the castle warfare, the building up of resources in a particular node to make it, or to build up what you have there from a tower to a keep to a castle. We want to know how that works out. We want to see just how beautiful it's going to be. Especially, I think the game is going to be running on, correct me if I'm wrong, DirectX 11?
I honestly don't know what the how everything's going to be running at. I don't think we'll actually find out until the end of the year, more than likely.
Well, we'll find out, yeah, what graphics engine it would be, what
But it is
will be
running.
requirements
It is,
technical-wise.
yeah, it is running on Unreal, so it's going to require a beefy machine. But that's about the extent of what we know.
Right. So until the first, so guild-wise, that's where that's where we're heading. Personally, I'm looking at the economics of the in-game economics, basically. Yeah. The caravans and such, how we can build up resources for our guild or for ourselves. That's something for that I'm personally looking forward to.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. And economics, not my thing. I've got a few members that are really into it, and in Final Fantasy XIV, for example, they completely destroy the market board trying to do weird, dodgy deals. It works for them. It paid for my guild house, so it doesn't bother me too much. But that's okay. Is there any features in particular that you wouldn't want implemented into the game? Or if they were implemented, you would probably cry and not say quit, but you'd have an unfun time?
Something that I would not like within... Well, it's been mentioned many times. Pay to win is definitely something that might kill this game. No, that will kill a game of this particular caliber. You have a lot of players putting their trust in an open system in terms of how we are going to go war with each other, how we're going to form our alliances. And the moment someone comes in and just throws in, like, you know, a huge amount of cheese just to gain dominance from one aspect or another, and that could pretty much destroy the community. That could destroy the foundation by which this game is building up to. Everyone has high hopes for Ashes of Creation. A lot of the members of the guild are spouting or singing praises about what this game can do and what it can mean for the future. And pay to win is definitely one of the most obvious ways that it could break.
Yeah, and like I understand that you might get the costumes at the moment, which is what's currently planned, but we all saw it happen with BDO. They started with costumes, it went to dyes, it went to buying the armor and selling it on the market board. As long as that stays away from the game, we should be fairly good.
I will have to ask for something, and it's going to be a bit weird. It's an ask. I know it might not be granted, but if there's an official forums for guilds that are at war with each other where they can voice out, their opinions against each other, as toxic as it may sound, that's, I think, a good thing for the community, mainly for those particular members to, exercise just how much they hate the other side. Censorship on that particular platform would be something I wouldn't like.
No, I can definitely understand. Yeah. I've had a rival guild since 2011. It's I'm not going to go into it because it's it could get horrible. But had a rival guild for a long time.
I mean,
and if they're here, chances are we'll kill them and absorb them. But
more power to you. I've got your back. I've got your back.
That is a good thing. And will bring us to our
I'll
final
narrate
question.
the fight for you.
Yes, you can do that. In fact, we'll get the audiobook version. It'll be beautiful. And the final question, if you could implement anything whatsoever into the game, not so much like the forum side of things like you just mentioned, but any particular feature, what would it be? It could be, once again, beardless dwarves. Not really dwarves, but it could be a thing.
God. What would I like inside? Apart from what you guys are giving already in terms of the technology. Oh, you're using the Unreal Engine, Unreal 4, right?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, so it's DX11. if I wanted something implemented in the game, apart from, I don't want an auction house system. I like the localized markets. You're already implementing that.
Yeah, they already got the localized market. Supposedly
Economics-wise, war-wise, it depends on how
That's
the game
right.
develops. I can't really ask for something within your particular map or framework of the game that isn't already being implemented. The colors look amazing. The water, I mean, oh, okay. How about a merchant class? It's just an ask.
That could be an interesting thing. That could be
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want their classes to be like, the warrior or the mage, the thief, your classic archetypes, your clerics, your paladins. There are these assassins. I want a merchant or a blacksmith from old Ragnarok days.
Well, that
I
could be
want to
something
see-
they
right,
do.
I
end up
wanted-
implementing it. It's a thing, like, because I know religion, for example, is going to be its own separate class that will have augments for your combat class. There could potentially be, if you're decent at money lending and swindling deals on the
Right.
auction house, you could
Or
become
in
better
combat,
at it.
you just throw your money at the monsters, right?
That's right. Or you could sort of swindle your way out of paying all of the taxes that the mayor of a node sort of sets up.
Yeah,
That
well,
could
I'm
be
just
interesting.
curious how a class like that could evolve in the current gaming landscape, which is so far removed from the 90s and 2000. And then, sorry, Pelham, someone is asking me to read something in Twitch. Is that okay?
Go ahead. I don't have anything
Right.
against it. Hang on. What is he asking you to read first? Let's have a quick look at this.
Error. Microsoft has detected a malicious virus in your computer. Please contact us on. Was there anything else?
Thanks for that. No. There is a merchant model that Death Proxy has just linked in the Twitch chat. I unfortunately am not.
Oh my
looking at
god.
it because all of my windows are set up how they are, and I don't want to click on it. But there is a merchant class.
Exactly.
Here's just links, which is really good. And with that, is there any closing words you'd like to say before you disappear back to your dinner, which you kindly interrupted so you could come join us?
I think we're all here to have fun, so let's have it in as many ways as we can.
That is definitely a thing, and thank you for joining us. Hope to see you in game and even possibly at the next guild fair.
Hope to see you guys too. Thanks so much for making this fun.
No worries, and that was our final guest. That's a beautiful thing. We wrapped it up in just under 2 hours. I was scared it was only
Wow.
going to go
Okay.
for roughly an hour, but that's okay. I'm gonna take the
Oh,
logo.
I do have questions for you though. Is that okay?
That is fine. We're about to have question
All
time,
right.
so that is good. Yes.
Guys, I hope you don't mind. I'll just ask him a few questions. I'll probably hijack this whole thing. Pelham, when it comes to OCXC, which countries in particular is Ashes of Creation looking at?
We're not sure. All we know is there's going to be local servers in our region. We gather if they're combined, chances are they'll be in Singapore, because that seems to be the popular place where everyone has servers for our regions. If they're localized, chances are it'll be somewhere in Australia, and more than likely Singapore once again for the Southeast Asian servers.
Okay, yeah,
But we
right.
don't know, unfortunately.
All right. And then the workforce, are you guys hiring?
Well, unfortunately, I don't work for the company, but they are definitely hiring. You can contact them at the email address that Shanks or Death Proxy is going to put in Twitch chat any moment. Yeah, and see what they say.
And your thoughts on an orc harem?
I'm all for it. I personally like brutish women that would more than likely want to dominate them. Not going to go too much into that, but
Yes, details later with the beer.
that's right. There is definitely orc harems. I'm all for it. As long as it's not elf related, I'm all for it.
All right. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries, thanks, mate. Alrighty, I am glad I cut that question off because that could have been really weird, and I'm really glad. Is there any quick questions from Twitch that you'd like to pose to us before we disappear and close off for the night? There unfortunately isn't any questions. That is it from us here, and that makes it a wrap for the Oceanic and Southeast Asian Guild Fair for Ashes of Creation, hit me up in Discord if you want to chat. I'm usually available. Being Oceanic though, my times are a little bit weird compared to everyone else in the world. I will give the this Oceanic and Southeast Asian Community Discord a plug again. It is a Discord purely for our region. It has a lot of people in it from our region, and there is slightly less rules and a nude channel, but we won't talk about that. And as for the alpha key, I actually not sure what we can do about this one. Give me 2 seconds. I have the key here. Well, I don't have the key here, actually. The problem was, it was going to be randomized, but unfortunately the randomizer isn't working. So to get this to work, and it's going to be a bit weird, what is the final level of a node? What is it called? And I'm waiting to see Twitch chat light up when it lights up again in a second with all of the things. Alright, I'm giving everyone roughly 30 seconds before I close out the alpha key draw. It has been really fun. It's a bit weird how we're doing this. It is a, I'm going to say it's random because it is. It's a random word which you guys have just spammed the chat with. And yeah, one of you will pop up in a second when I figure out how to actually get your name to pop up. And I'll pass this key on to Yavi, and you will get your key in the email or whatever happens. And I'm closing it now. Here we go. There you go, Hirschmeck, you have just won yourself an alpha key for December's alpha. There you go. Thank you, and have a good night.